All right, I thought it'd be fun to check out this chunky little light Canon. This is an Imalent MS06. And why won't you function? Why won't you focus? There we go. So it has three 35 amp, 3.6 volt, 21700 batteries. The highest is 25,000 lumens. And it's called an MS06 because, as you can see, there are 6 emitters. There is a pop can for size comparison. You can see it's almost the same size as a pop can. And let's see how much this thing weighs, because it is hefty. It's worth it. The weight is worth it, let me tell you. About 20 and a half ounces. It's definitely not going to go in your lightweight backpacking kit or anything. It comes with a holster, and you can see you don't want it to turn on inside the holster. Just pretty basic holster. Nothing to write home about, but it allows you to carry this thing at least some way decent. It has a lanyard just in case it slips. And I tell you, it has a little bit of texturing, but since it's so big around and so chunky, it still can slip pretty easy. So right now I have it on lockout. I usually keep it on lockout just for safety because this thing makes a ton of heat. So to get it off of lockout, you tap 4 times. And there it blinks. There's the lowest setting. Let's see if I lock the shutters. Then it goes up. 3, 4, 5, and then drip back down. If you double tap, you get turbo. You get the full 25,000. Yeah, it is a wall of light. Absolutely a wall of light. I don't want to shine it right into the camera. So what's this for? Well, it'll run a long time if you keep it in one of the lower modes. And even, I think the lowest mode on this is like 200 lumens. So you could just pop it right down on the table and light up a whole area under a canopy or a tent. And if you really want to light up an area, if you're looking for something, or maybe you're camping and you hear a bump in the night and you want to light up the whole area, this will absolutely get it done. Imalent has bigger, more powerful lights. I just don't have any of them yet. But what we're going to do is take this thing out, and I think we're going to compare it probably to my Baton, my Pro Max, my Olight Pro Max, because that's probably one of my favorite lights. It's quite a bit smaller and more reasonable to carry, but it's a pretty bright, floody light in its own right. So, but it's 2,500 lumen. This is 10 times the Pro Max. So the night shots should be pretty neat. Just be aware, this does generate a lot of heat. On those brown multi-fold towels, if you hold one of those brown multi-fold towels against this, it will light it on fire within 2 or 3 seconds. If you put this against your arm and put it into turbo, it's going to burn you fairly quickly. Just be aware of that. This thing is a monster thrower. I'm going to lock it out. Just there we go. Now it's safe. And we'll take this outside. And see what we can see out in the dark. I think this is about the biggest thrower that I would want to go to really put out a big wall of light without getting too hard to carry. Olight's big thrower, the Marauder 2, that is, it's not as much. We'll look at that one at some point as well. It has a bunch of lumens as well, just not quite as much as this, but the Marauder has a throw function, which is nice. That'll be a fun review. We'll get to that here soon, too. But you have available to you a lot of battery power here. So if you let this run on the lower settings, like even 200 lumens, you can light up a room with it for a long time. So, oh yeah, the charging, I think the charger I left upstairs, but it's a magnetic charging. It's proprietary magnetic charging. Just sits right on there. Works good. No problems with it. So let's head on outside and see if we can make night turn into day. All right. See you out there. Okay, so we're going to try this MS06 outside. But I didn't want to just try it without, having a reference. So I brought out one of my favorite lights, the Olight Baton Pro Max. So there's the Pro Max. Man, that isn't... See why I like that light so much? That's turbo on the Pro Max. Now... that's the lowest setting on the MS06. Next level up. So turbo on, that's the Pro Max. And this is level 2 on the MS06. There's the next level up on the MS06. So that's the next level on the MS06. Nowhere near full output yet. And there's turbo. MS06. Pro Max. So let's take up the MS06 to the next level. And the next level. Let's see what we got for a turbo. That's crazy. This thing is an absolute wall of light. So here we are, turbo on the Pro Max. And turbo on the MS06. So I'm just going to use the Pro Max. We're going to go out to the road. Kind of just shine down the road and get an idea. Neither one of these lights are throwers, but with this much light, man, it's tough not to see at least some distance, right? All right. It's nice living on a road where there's no traffic. Turbo on the Pro Max. Lights up the road nice. And then turbo on the MS06. Good grief. It's like middle of daylight. Now I am getting some heat running turbo on the MS06. I've tested this thing, and it will light paper on fire if you hold it right in front. Pro Max Turbo MS06. Man, that's impressive. And here come the bugs. All right. The MS06 did get fairly hot. It's somewhat uncomfortable, but that's okay. You don't need that much light for very long. So there's your night shot. I hope that was entertaining. It was for me.